Hello, my name is Brehon and I would like to welcome you back to the channel. Now, today's book review will be on The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Covey. Our attitudes, behaviors, and beliefs are heavily influenced by our upbringing, our family, our friends, our religious and political beliefs, and also sometimes our jobs. Now, we formulate opinions based on these beliefs. We believe strongly in our opinions, and we believe our opinions are the truth and only the truth. And it's often difficult to accept other people's opinions when we stand so firmly on our own. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People goes into great detail about our personal beliefs, our thinking process, and delivers 7 key habits that will change your mindset, maximize your ability, and improve every area of your life. This is a book you can keep coming back to, reread year after year, because it's based on core principles that will never change. Habit number 1, be proactive. If you were writing a book on the story of your life, your past, present, and future, what would you want it to say? How would the final chapters sum up the life you live? Will the book contain stories of a person who accomplished very little? Will the book contain a long list of complaints, names of people who did you wrong? Or will the book contain stories of a man or woman who set goals, met challenges head on, and took the necessary action to do some incredible things in life? Now, the first principle of being proactive is taking ownership. You must take ownership of the failures as well as the successes in your life. Now, proactive people take ownership in controlling their own feelings and behaviors as much as they possibly can. People who take ownership of their life, they don't wait until the doctor tells them they need to exercise a few days a week. They don't wait until the boss gives them a set of instructions. Instead, they proactively search for solutions, ways to get things done. Now, proactive people use words like I can, I will, we can do it, I believe in you, don't give up now. Whereas reactive people use words like I can't, I won't, I'll start after the holidays, or that's a dumb idea that you have. Being reactive to the events happening around you leads only to self-limiting beliefs. And what's even worse is when you throw your limiting beliefs on others. You know, your friend wants to start a business and your response is, oh, that's too hard, or don't quit your day job. The proactive person says, that's awesome. Let me know what I can do to help. When you write that book, I will be the first person in line. Covey says there are 2 circles that we operate in, the circle of influence and the circle of concern. Now, the circle of concern are all the things that we worry about. The weather, the war in the Middle East, the price of gas, or these politicians. See, these are things that we can't control. Then you have the circle of influence, things we can control, things we can do something about, our opinions, how we choose to spend our time, how we spend our money, and the actions that we can or cannot take. Now, if you are a person who's reactive to the events going on in your life, just remember, you are the captain of your own emotions, and it's time to regain control. All right, now let's take initiative, let's take action, and begin filling the pages of your book with great successes and accomplishments. Habit number 2, begin with the end in mind. Imagine waking up one day and you decide, you know what, I think I'm going to run the Boston Marathon next year. Now, how will you go about making that happen? Could you just sign up and go run 22.6 miles without any training? Of course not. You would start by developing a training plan, or you would reach out to a trainer. You would sit down and draw out every detail. Then you will follow that training plan, running 1 mile, then 2 miles, then 5 miles, and so on. Without a training plan or a strategy, what mistakes could be made? Maybe you would have missed out on how important it is to hydrate, or how often you need to hydrate when you're running 26.2 miles. What is your end goal? What is it that you want to achieve in your life? Planning is essential for the success of any endeavor, including your life. Here's where the principle of direction comes in. To begin with the end in mind, you need direction. Just like training for a marathon, a sense of direction is needed in order for you to succeed. Now, highly effective people begin with the end in mind. They set small goals and targets along the way to ensure that they are on the right course. When it comes to your life, what type of legacy would you like to leave? Do you have a mission statement? A mission statement is a statement that explains why you are here, the goals you have, and the values you represent. Now, if you don't have a mission statement, start working on one today. Habit number 3 is put first things first. Now, most people start their week off with a bunch of plans, but end up getting sidetracked by the end of the week. You start binge watching a show on Netflix when you should be reading or studying. You wanted to get to work early, but you got on Facebook and you've been sitting by the edge of the bed for an hour. Sometimes we make non-important issues our priority, and we make important issues a non-priority. Now, how do we change this way of thinking? Stephen Covey developed a time management matrix designed to categorize your task by urgency and importance. Quadrant 1 focuses on tasks that are both urgent and important. This quadrant is for tasks that is out of your control, but take priority when it happens. A deadline for a proposal, a pregnant woman, water break, or your house is on fire. Quadrant 2 focuses on tasks that are important but not urgent. This is the most critical quadrant because these things are important to us. Planning, setting goals, building relationships. Definitely spend some time focusing on what you put in quadrant number 2 and look at them each morning to better help lock in what's important. Quadrant 3 focuses on tasks that are not important but urgent. These tasks are those that interrupt our day, like an unexpected phone call or unplanned meetings. When you prioritize these tasks in quadrant 3, you end up responding to the needs of others instead of yourself. This happens in the workplace far too often, where you have things that you need to get done, and then all of a sudden the phone rings. It's Billy. He doesn't know how to do his job and he needs your help. So you spend the next few hours helping Billy. And now it's the end of the day, Billy is going home, and you are left working late on the things that you need to get done. That sucks. Make your job the priority. Next time Billy calls, tell him that you are zoned in and trying to wrap up some important work, and to call you back around 3:30. Now Billy likes to leave at 4 p.m. every day, and now he has a decision to make. He never works late. Will he take the initiative to learn his own job, or will he call you back later? It doesn't matter what he does. Just understand Billy doesn't come before you. Now, quadrant 4 focuses on tasks that are not important and not urgent. The tasks in this category are a complete waste of time, like binge watching a Netflix series in one day or spending hours scrolling on social media. Forget about quadrant 4. Quadrant 2 should be the quadrant you focus on. These tasks involve everything that's important to your life. We must take the time to make quadrant 2 our priority. All right. And the way you do it is by saying no to all these other activities. Learn to budget your time and availability. Once problems arise, you can quickly identify the quadrant and make better decisions on how to proceed. Habit number 4 is think win-win. In today's society, if you think you must win, there must be a loser on the other end of the stick. This is true in sports, but life is not sports, and life does not have to be a competition. Both parties can win. By creating a win-win mindset, you can begin to establish successful interdependent relationships. I remember when I was a tank farm supervisor for the #1 bulk chemical manufacturing company in the world. And at the facility I ran, we had one major problem: Norfolk Southern, the rail car company. Now, Norfolk Southern would bring us rail cars. We didn't like their process and they didn't like our process. They would bring rail cars onto our facility and spend 2 to 3 hours maneuvering and finding spots for each rail car. Then I would have to hop into the switch engine and spend 2 to 3 hours moving rail cars into their correct locations. It was a huge mess. This is something we had to deal with over and over and over again. I finally put together a problem-solving initiative to get this stuff resolved. I met with my team and we started brainstorming and performing some root cause analysis, all right? And then I scheduled a meeting with representatives of Norfolk Southern. We poured out this big old map and we began presenting a plan that we both could benefit from, a win-win situation. I identified possible drop locations and destinations for each rail car. They liked the idea. Norfolk Southern would drop the rail cars at these designated locations and then just move on. The total time for their delivery would be around 15 minutes, saving them over 2 hours. I would go out, connect to the rail cars, and bring them onto our property and place them in the correct location. Total time would be around 1 hour. So I saved over an hour in our process. So highly effective people search for ways in which both parties can benefit. Habit number 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Now, the key to understanding is by listening. Now, oftentimes we are not really active listening. We're just waiting for our turn to speak. Now, empathy is very important here. Seeing it the way they see it, feeling it the way they feel it, and thinking about it the way they think about it. These are the ways you can truly build bridges of communications between you and other people. One way to develop listening skills is to say something like, "Tell me more." Or you could say something like, "Repeat that last part again." This will help reinforce your active listening skills. Habit number 6, synergize. Now, we all bring something different to the table, a different upbringing, a different belief system, a different cultural background, a different way of thinking. When we can bring all of our differences together for the greater good, we are operating with synergy. Great movies aren't created by one person. You need a good screenwriter, you need a good director, creators, costume designers, and of course you need the right actors. Now, by valuing each person and what they bring to the table, you can begin synergizing and creating something far bigger than you ever dreamed of. And finally, number 7, sharpen the saw. Abraham Lincoln once said, "If you give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, I will spend the first 4 hours sharpening my axe." Just like the axe, you must sharpen yourselves as well. We must devote time to ourselves mentally, physically, socially, and spiritually. By sharpening the saw in these 4 areas, you can see the results of long-lasting effectiveness. Now, when you choose the right foods and exercise, you can see the results. Limit your amount of TV shows you watch that add no value to your life. Okay? Never stop learning. Read great books, take online courses, and watch shows that will enrich your life and your mind. And there you have it, the 7 habits of highly effective people. Hey, put down in the comments what you enjoyed about the book. If you plan on purchasing it, let me know how you feel about the summary. All right. If this is your first time checking me out, hit the like, subscribe, and keep coming back for more wealth building information. Peace.